Retro Rewind. Retro Rewind. 20 years of radio history, celebrating over 30 years of the greatest songs ever made.
Retro Rewind. Retro Rewind. One-on-one.
Yo, this is Bobby Brown, and you're listening to Retro Rewind with Dave Harris.
This is Retro Rewind. Retro Rewind.
Hi everybody, Dave Harris from Retro Rewind. I gotta tell you, it is an absolute thrill to have this gig because I get to hang out with Bobby Brown today. Bobby, thanks so much for doing the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Glad to have you, man.
Thank you.
You're doing. First of all, I like to say we're at Stevie's Creole Cafe. We're in Encino.
Yes.
And we walk into this room, and it's the Bobby Brown room. I mean,
yeah,
literally.
I have good friends. Some people like me.
Yeah, well, I think
my good friend Stevie, who owns the place, dedicated this room to me. I come down every now and then, and we do a little performance. Me and a couple of friends of mine. Yeah. But I just love it. I love the room. The food is excellent, and the atmosphere is Bobby Brownish.
Yeah, as soon as I walked in, I'm like, man, I feel it. I feel the place in this room right here. I'm like, whoa. So what do I have to do? How often do I have to come here before I can get one of these?
To get a room?
Yeah.
You know what? I would have to ask Steven.
Okay.
But it'll probably have to be like 3 times a week.
Wow.
And he'll probably put you on the other side.
Okay.
And take a bunch of shots of you.
Yeah.
And do some.
I gotta have a couple #1 hits.
Yeah, a couple of those, and a couple of videos.
Okay.
Do a couple of movies, and we might have to marry a diva, and then get divorced. But he'll get you a room.
That sounds like too much work. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. And this is a really cool room. These are some great shots too.
Thank you.
Throughout your career, so.
Throughout my career, I've had some different looks in my life, and I don't know.
Well, speaking of looks, I'd like to say you look great. I know you're doing Celebrity Fit Club right now.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and that's going well. But I mean, yeah, man. I mean, it's like.
I've lost a lot of weight, and I'm happy about it. I'm really happy about it. I'm able to move around the stage a lot better now. It's so much more fun being 40-something years old, and I say 40-something because I don't want to let everybody know my actual age.
Right.
But I do have a 9-month-year-old, a 9-month son.
Yeah, 9-month-old son.
Yeah,
he's beautiful.
Yeah,
he's got a great smile. He gets it honest from Dad.
He gets it honestly.
Yeah, he's nice.
That's my little buddy. My little buddy. He wakes up in the morning and he just smiles and just makes my day so much more. So much. I mean, it's worth everything that fatherhood is about.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 5 kids, but this little dude he's just a joy to be around, and the rest of my kids are a joy to be around.
Sure.
But they're older, and my youngest daughter is 17,
wow.
but my youngest boy is 9 months. So it's like, wow. So it's a big stretch.
And you really don't look like you can have a 17-year-old daughter.
Oh, well, I got a 23-year-old boy also.
Really?
Going on 24 this year.
Wow.
Yes.
See, it's hard to believe.
God is keeping me well. He's keeping me really well.
You seem to be at a good place in your life right now to really enjoy, being a father again. And
I'm in a great place right now in my life. I'm in love with the most beautiful woman I've ever met in my life, and we have a baby, and we're looking forward to having another 2 more kids.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
We've got 8 kids.
I'm gonna keep it pushing.
All right.
I gotta keep it moving. I'm just not the one that wants to die alone.
Right.
And my babies they make me as happy as I'll ever be in my life. So
now,
I'm just proud.
And did you come
proud.
from a large family?
I come from a family. I have 4 sisters.
Okay.
And 2 brothers.
Okay, so yeah.
So yeah, and 30 nephews and 27 nieces.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a big family.
Yeah. And then when you become a grandfather, you'll probably have a few.
I am a grandfather.
You already are?
I'm a grandfather finally.
What?
My son just gave me a granddaughter, and I'm extremely happy. She just cries too much.
And how old is she?
She is 8 months.
Okay.
So
she's...
my son is an uncle at 9 months.
How about that?
And wow.
He's not going to be able to tell her to do much,
No, she's actually going to be taller than him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You feel it?
He's a shorty. My shorty's a shorty.
He'll be fast though.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? You know?
Yeah.
They're always in school.
Cassius, quick hands.
I'm telling you. Yeah, just like the champ.
Yes.
And
sir.
I'm from Kentucky, and that's where the champ's from.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so when we go to Louisville, you see Muhammad Ali Boulevard and all of that.
Really?
Stuff. So yeah.
I have a boulevard of my own in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm not originally from Atlanta, but they named a street right after Martin Luther King Boulevard is Bobby Brown Boulevard.
How about that?
And that was something for me. Yeah. I was in jail when they actually dedicated it to me.
Oh, really?
In Atlanta.
Well, you know what? At least they went through with it too.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
But then they told me that it's not me, Bobby Brown. It was the other Bobby Brown. And I was like, what other Bobby Brown do you know that lives here in Atlanta?
Oh,
So they were lying to me.
Really?
But it's okay.
Of course.
I
I
still got
don't
a
know any
street.
other Bobby. Wasn't there like a girl Bobby Brown or something? Or
Yeah, the makeup artist.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I had to buy into that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's only room for one Bobby Brown in this business. You know what I mean?
At a time.
Well, I
At a
think
time.
people think of you, man. And let's talk about what you're doing now. Now, did I read that you're back together with Ralph and Johnny? You guys work on a
Well, right
thing?
now we're touring. Myself, Ralph, Johnny, and myself are touring as we call our group Heads of State.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And we just tour around and we just perform, man, because that's what we love to do. But we're also putting a package together, New Edition again.
Good.
And we're looking forward to touring sometime this summer with New Edition.
Beautiful.
So I'm
Well,
just
the
trying
new
to keep
kids-
it moving.
The new kids came back and did quite well. Did you see that? Did you see
I
how
loved
that-
it. I loved it.
you know?
Actually, New Kids are going to be a part of what we're doing right now. We're all working with the same people, so
Okay.
Donnie's a really good friend of all of ours, and
Yeah.
he's just a really cool dude. And it's good to have somebody from your hometown that also made it and
gets it, too, in a
and
way.
gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it.
Yeah.
It's a business, and that's how we got to look at it. And we're just really happy that at the age that we are, we can still entertain the folks and give them what we naturally do as
Yeah.
humans.
Well, it's been it's been a while since I was going to say you're one of a few artists. I interviewed Lionel Richie. He's good with our show, and he's done the show a few times. And I said, to Lionel, and the same thing applies to you, that it's very rare for an artist, a solo artist, to actually outperform their group in a way. The Commodores have only had a couple #1 hits,
Right.
but Lionel's had 9.
Yeah.
And Bobby Brown's had more hits than New Edition, technically. When you look at the charts, I think Phil Collins has done that with Genesis. He's had 7 #1s. They have only had 1. So, not even McCartney or Diana Ross have outperformed their groups as a solo artist. So you're in, a small
group
of people that have actually
of greatness.
Yeah, I would say. So
But when you mention me with the likes of a person like that, or Michael Jackson, or because Michael is also that same
Yes, he
type
is.
of person. I don't know. It's something in the water that all of us was drinking that has allowed us to be to step out from what we originate from, and do something bigger and better. I think it's just, like I said, it's something in the water we was drinking, or it's just something we wanted. I know for myself, being out of New Edition, the only thing I could do in this world, other than be a great stick-up artist, but other than that, I'm a damn good dancer, and I love performing, and I love to sing, and God has blessed me with the opportunities to be able to do that, and I couldn't feel more proud.
And Bobby, you've probably answered this question a million times, but maybe you can answer it better now that you're a little older. I'm curious, moving into your solo, we're just going to bounce around in this conversation, if that's okay, but why did you decide to leave New Edition? I mean, because that was
deciding,
big thing.
I don't really think it was me deciding to leave New Edition. I think it was, that I basically outgrew it.
Okay.
And by the time I found out that I outgrew it, they felt like that I shouldn't be in the group anymore. So it wasn't a mutual agreement, but it was at the same time I wanted to leave and pursue other things, they was ready for me to leave anyway.
Okay.
So it was a vote that they voted me out of the group. So I just went about my business and try to stay positive as positive can be in that situation. I just stayed positive and went in the studio and wrote the music that I wanted to do. I wrote the music that I wanted to hear myself sing, and once I did that, then it was a wrap.
Well, let me ask you this: when you released your first solo album, "Girlfriend," came out, it topped the R&B chart.
Yes.
Over on the pop chart, which is for the main chart, I guess that people go by,
yes,
where you want
what
most of the success.
Right.
It could have done better. But did you, when you saw, and then there weren't a whole lot of follow-ups. We'll get to the second album in a minute, where this puts it to rest. But were you questioning yourself at that time? Like,
I didn't question myself because for the people to buy into Bobby Brown and to still follow Bobby Brown even after New Edition, for them to do that, I just felt I felt love from the people, and I knew I wasn't going to stop doing what I do,
right?
Because that's what I do.
Right.
I mean, I have no problems with working on my craft and trying to make it better and better and better, and that's what I did. I just went back to the drawing board and wrote another batch of songs and. Fortunately, those were the songs that brought me to the pop charts and to the front of the line, and I'm just grateful. I'm just really grateful.
Well, when that second album, we'll talk about that real quick if you don't mind. You're writing for this album. Babyface. Some of these people are on board, and that's sort of in their infancy too of getting involved with artists.
Right.
You were probably one of their first artists, I think. Did you know when you were recording that album? Did you have a vibe like? I know I can already tell you're a humble guy, but did you I know this is going to do something?
I really, once I got with Teddy Riley and I got with Babyface in LA, I knew that we had something special. I didn't know how special it was, but I knew in my heart that I was going in there to write the best music I possibly could write.
Yeah.
I wanted to sell the most albums ever in the history of albums.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a Michael Jackson Thriller, but at the same time, I just wanted to make it really, really good music.
Yeah.
I wanted my voice to be at the top of his game, and and God allowed me to do that. And from that, it's just history. It just happened. Working with the right people and being around the right people and being in the right frame of mind, it always works for you.
What I thought was impressive is you were like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
And you're singing and writing songs that someone who would probably be in their mid-20s by now, had gone through some of these things. So.
Well, I went through a lot in my younger years that
like an old soul in a way.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, my mother always said that I had an old soul. So I think that came out with the writing and the things, the people that I was working with. I could not take anything away from the people that I was working with because they were all at the top of their game and we were all just beginning and we wanted to make great product. We wanted to make great music and we were allowed to make it, and you have the finished product with Don't Be Cruel.
And how did that change you? Because obviously at that point, we're talking single after single. We're talking top 10 hits.
8 singles off that.
Yeah, which is basically a mini greatest hits package.
Yeah.
If not outright, you know what I mean? So, and I think 7 million copies just alone here in the States.
Yes.
Forget worldwide. It's probably 20 million easy. So,
and it's still selling because they had to go from. We came from from to going to cassettes to CDs and now you're downloading. So you know, it's just a whole world of music that is just out there, and I'm just grateful to be a part of just the music industry and just period, because this is what I really love, and I've been fortunate enough to be in this business for the last 30 years, so I feel good.
And still doing it well. Now, did you get a lot of, were there tensions, because obviously I love New Edition, but New Edition didn't really do what you did with that second album.
Right.
Where, at that time, just reflecting, because I'm trying to ask you a question that I think fans would want to know.
I think once Don't Be Cruel came out, I think I got more support from them.
Okay.
Because they saw that I was actually doing what I had set out to do.
Yeah.
What my plan was. My plan was to become, one of the biggest artists in the world.
Yeah. Okay.
And they knew that that me being a part of New Edition, I wasn't going to be able to do that. And there was a lot of things about New Edition that helped me back from being Bobby Brown, the Bobby Brown that I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And those are 5 of my best friends.
Yeah.
And I only got 6. Wow. So
yeah.
those are the 5 best friends that stuck by me, and no matter what, they allowed me to be me, and I'm just grateful for that. I got a new best friend now, my lady. You know, so
right on, man. Well, and that's kind of cool because New Edition is one of those rare bands to where everyone basically that was involved with that group have had top 5 hits as a solo artist. Or your Belle Biv DeVoe, of course, is a little trio, but
right.
But Johnny Gill hit top 3. Ralph had a top 5 hit. Of course, you did. So I think it's a testament to the talent of you guys.
Of the group, yeah.
And then to come back.
we call ourselves now we are the super group now because there's been no other group that has done what we done.
No.
And that's only God. That's God. That's God. God willing, we'll have another #1 hit in the future. God willing, I'll have another #1 in the future.
Yeah. I think this is the market is right for the last time you guys got back together, you had your first #1 album.
Yes,
so,
I know. Did you realize that?
Yeah,
I'm glad you did.
Hit Me Off was your biggest hit.
Yeah.
It was Cool It Now. Now Hit Me Off went to like 3, I think, on the pop chart. So sky's the limit. I think
we can only go up from here.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about New Edition, that we're only getting better. We're only becoming closer and closer friends, and it's a privilege and a pleasure to be able to call myself one of New Edition, because from whence we came, where we came from is the hardest place for anybody to do anything. You have no basketball players that come out of there, no football players that come out of there, but you got a group of 5 men, 5 young boys that came out of there with with their heads held high, and we was looking forward to the top, and thank God we made it.
And absolutely, and the good thing is you've all had individual success. That way, because egos and stuff are still part of the business, but it's kind of like we're all pushing 40, like you're saying, and we're older, we're fathers now, and and we can kind of reflect. But now, everyone having some success in the past on their own, to come back to this super group, as you say, I think would be would benefit.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and I know. I talk to each of them every day, and it's just like we really can't wait to put the show together and just get back out there on tour, because that's the fun that we have, doing this business. Is just performing. Yeah. I mean, the studio time and all of that, and the picture taking and all that. That's all cool, but the performing once we get on stage, and just to see the fans out there, man, it's payment alone. That's enough pay that we need. But also, paying the rent also works.
Of course. It's a business too, right? Absolutely.
Yes.
But did you guys see, were you guys watching the success the new kids were having with this comeback? And you're like, oh, come on.
Well,
we got this.
We basically saw it, and like I said, Donnie's a really good friend of all of us. And he was just telling us, man, Bob, you're gonna go crazy when y'all do it again, and when you get out on that stage again, and so what gives me, Johnny, and Ralph the motivation to go out there with heads of state is that the fact that we are gonna one day be on stage with 6 members, again, in big stadiums, and
Do what you do.
Do what we do.
Let's get this right.
So let's keep our chops right. Let's keep practicing.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. That's what we call it. It's a practice for us when we go out as heads of state, because we all get a chance to perform each other's songs.
Right.
I get a chance to sing on Sensitivity with Ralph.
Nice.
I get a chance to sing My with Johnny Gill.
Yeah.
So it's just something. It couldn't get no better.
I was gonna say, it doesn't get much better than that, because there's a slew of hits from New Edition. There's a slew of solo
we do
hits.
22 songs and they're all hits.
How about that? Now you see that not everyone can say
something.
that.
No,
unless you
it's a beautiful
get
life
the Supremes back
I'm living
together,
right now, and I'm most proud of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, who you pay attention to today's music scene? Who are some of the artists that you like?
I really like Neil. I really think he's a genius as far as writing and singing.
His production's not bad either, is it?
His productions are incredible.
Yeah.
I love Black Eyed Peas. I love my Usher. I love him. Beyonce is just too sick.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Gaga, I'm just really getting into her because my daughters are into her. So I'm really getting into Lady Gaga. I'm really appreciating what she brings to the table as far as entertainment is concerned.
Right.
I like so many people. John B. I like. Oh my God! It's just so many bands out there right now that are. I mean, I still love my Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
There's nothing like them.
Flea's not a bad bass player,
Flea is just the sickest dude ever in the history of bass playing.
Yeah, for real.
Bootsy Collins, I would have to say, Bootsy, you and Flea need to get together and just pick with each other.
Fill in the gaps.
Yeah, fill in the gaps with each other.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, I try to keep my mind focused on what I'm doing next. So I try not to listen to too much music on the radio, but the things that I do here, I'm enjoying, the Chris Browns, I think he's a very talented young man, and, once he gets older and he, gets a little more focused on music, then he's going to be a great artist. Yeah. But right now, I think Neil got him. I think Neil takes the cake right now. Neil is a new up and coming genius, I can call him. And I'm still listening to my Stevie Wonder on a regular basis.
Of course.
Gap Band,
Oh yeah, man! I heard early in the morning the other day.
I'm into all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, where I was going to go with this is you've probably influenced some of these people. Is there any artist that's out there right now that maybe reminds you a little bit of yourself?
Neil, definitely.
Yeah.
Because he is, he's that into his performance. He's that into, what he looks like and what he has on and his precision with things. I think Neil would be, between him and Usher, would be the only two that I can really look at and say, And Justin Timberlake is ridiculous. So, we would have to throw him in that equation. We would have to put all of them together in order for them to make a Bobby Brown.
And I'm sure that they, I agree with that statement, actually. So I'm sure they've talked to you, because I'm sure you've been an influence to these people. And
I've talked to a few.
And so, isn't that is something, I think you've laid some really great groundwork. These tunes, that you had, we listened to it on the way down today. Not that I've ever forgotten your music, love your music,
right,
but I think it doesn't sound like it's 20 years old. To me, it doesn't. I mean, I think it still stands, today, because what's old is new again, and they're using those kinds of sounds today.
What we tried to do when we went into the studio to make that music was to make it everlasting. I feel a hit song is a hit song no matter when you listen to it. And that's what we went in to do, to make hit songs. And thank God for the producers that I worked with and that worked with me, and the sounds that we used at that time are still the sounds that they're using today. And I'm grateful for that. That is something that I'll hold on to forever.
The thing that I've noticed, about you is you're very humble, and you're very appreciative, and I think you've been portrayed unfairly, here and there, and I just, I think if people really get a chance to sit with you or talk to you or kind of, really feel you out with no agenda, this is what they would get.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I have have no reason not to be me anymore. I've been through so many things in my life that humble is the most I could possibly be. I mean, I can't be no different than I am as far as me being Bobby Brown. I've went through my hard times. I've went through some of the roughest times in the world, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But I'm here, man. I'm still alive, and I'm still grateful, and I'm still able to walk. I'm still able to breathe. I'm still able to raise my children. So that gives me every incentive to be the best man I could possibly be. And if that's all God needs me to do, is be the best I can be. You're getting the best of Bobby in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm not finished. I'm just beginning. I'm just getting better. So I'm extremely happy with life, with everything that I'm going through right now. I'm extremely happy with my lady and my baby, and I'm looking forward to getting married soon, and doing it again, man. Just really living life to the fullest. Because that's what I'm here for. That's what life is for. You got to live it. So I'm looking forward to just living as long as I possibly can, and staying as positive as I am right now. Because positivity you can't beat it. Anytime I get negative and down on myself, then that's what you see. And that's what people are able to talk about. But as long as I stay positive within myself, and keep the right people in my life, man, and just keep moving. Focus on the good, man. You can't focus on the bad, because what I've done in my past is done. I can't correct that. I cannot do anything about it. So I can only be better. You've got to learn from it.
And you seem to be like to me, that you would take being with you're older now and reflecting. Like you might listen more or consider other people's opinions, like in a relationship.
And you know what? That's exactly what it is. It's learning how to listen.
Yeah.
It's not just listening to other people. It's learning how to listen and learning what to listen to, what parts to take from others that can benefit you and can help you. It's not like you get in a room and you sit down with somebody and they tell you certain things to do and they write it on a piece of paper. No, you have to read in between the lines, and you have to know what fits you and what doesn't. And I'm almost there, but I'm working hard at being better for myself and being better for my family.
Yeah, well, this is really good to see this with you, because I've always been a supporter of yours, a
Thank
fan.
you, I appreciate you.
And always rooting for you.
Thank you.
Well, what are your days like? Just just kind of wrapping up. What do you do? I mean, obviously you're a father and a family man.
My days are spent basically, I'm trying to love my lady as much as possible and love my baby as much as possible. I'm trying to be there as much as my dad was there for me. My dad was there every day, and he always made sure that at some time in that day he sat me down and we talked. My son can't talk right now, but I talk to my other sons and my daughters every day, and I just try to stay grounded and try to keep them abreast to what their father's going through and the mistakes that I've made in my life. I try to let them know just how I got to that point. Mm-hmm. And that helps me. That helps me. It keeps me open.
Yeah.
And that's what I need in my life. I can't bottle myself up again. If I bottle myself up again, then you won't see Bobby Brown again. But with me right now, I am so open, and I am just I'm happy. I'm flabbergasted with life.
Yeah.
Everything about life right now is beautiful. I'm still going through the pressures of wanting to be on that stage every day, but 12 times a month is good.
Yeah,
I love to perform, so I just want to do a lot more performing, and I want to love a lot better, and that's what I'm doing, man. I'm just trying to take it one day at a time and keep my sobriety, as much as sobriety as I can have in my life. I'm like I said, I'm loving life.
So that'll obviously come out in your music and maybe your writing and your performances and stuff. I mean, it's just going to be
the new stuff. The new stuff that I'm doing, the people that I'm working with, it's just again great music and great energy, great people around me. So, I know that only the best can come out of that. You know, and I'm sticking with that. And I'm not going to push the envelope. Not too much, My girl will let me know when I'm getting out of line. So.
Yeah, and you're listening.
And I'm listening,
right?
yes.
Well, the cool thing I think about what you've done with your career is you leave people wanting more. There were gaps between albums. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And you probably got pressure back in the day because they want you to keep writing, release.
Album after album after album.
Yeah, milk it,
Nope.
I think a true artist actually to be able to say, no.
Longevity is made up of artists that can take their time and work on their craft and work on their music. And I've been fortunate because in between my albums it's been like 3 years, 5 years. It's really been spread out, and that's what has kept me in this industry this long.
Okay.
Is for me to spread it out and not rush anything.
Yeah.
Once you rush, then you're not working. You're not doing your craft. And my craft is entertainment. It's not music. So I'm the entertainer. I'm not just a musician. I bring you everything. Yeah. And once it's right, that's when you get it.
And so does some of this new music reflect more of you, like what you're feeling?
The new music, it reflects everything that I am, everything that I've been through, and everything that I'm going to become in the future. Yeah. That's what's on this next album.
Now, is this a solo album, Bobby, or is this?
I'm in the process of doing my solo album. I'm also in the process of doing an album with Heads of State, which is me and Ralph and Johnny.
Okay.
And we're in the process of making a deal where New Edition will do another album. So
now, how do you know which songs to give the?
You know what?
Is that a dilemma that you're looking
I
forward
think
to?
they'll know what songs, what songs are Bobby's and what songs are Heads of State and what songs are New Edition. There's a big difference when Bobby does a Bobby song, and I hate to talk about me in the third person.
Hey, Bob Dole did it for a long time. You might as well. No, but it is. You've got a stamp. I think you can say that.
Yeah, it's definitely a difference. Yeah. When you hear a Bobby Brown song and you hear a New Edition song, it's total difference. Yeah. So I'm just glad to be able to still work with great people and still keep it going, man. Things happen every day in life, man, where we don't know if we got tomorrow,
Right.
So
We've lost a lot of people,
Yeah, I'm just grateful to be able to be here and continue to give people great music and great entertainment, and that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. I can't stop. This is who I am.
Well, when this stuff comes out, we want to get with you again, man.
Yes, definitely.
We want to talk
you
about
you have all my contacts.
Yeah.
And we will definitely get together. It'll be great.
Retro Rewind. Visit Retro Rewind's website at www.retrorewind.com. Retrorewind.com. Games and links to everything retro, from recording artists to TV shows and movies from the 80s and 90s.